Finally, on the 1st of March, OpenAI announced the most awaited ChatGPT API for all users at a very reasonable price. People who were eagerly waiting for the release can finally complete their project with the use of the API and get some sleep. OpenAI has announced a good pricing model for the latest OpenAI models for ChatGPT, which is at 1/10th the cost of another famous text completion model by OpenAI known as the Text DaVinci 003. The new model, GPT 3.5 Turbo, is priced at $0.0002 per 1,000 tokens, whereas the DaVinci model is priced for $0.0200 per 1,000 tokens. Let's start by accessing the ChatGPT API and get everything set up. You'll need an OpenAI account to use the API. You can create an account on the platform.openai.com. The link for the website is in the description. If you are a new user, you are granted with free $18 for 3 months. Post that, you're going to have to pay for the service. Now click on the top right corner and open API Keys menu. Here you'll generate the new API key or use the pre-existing one if you had any. Just copy and keep it somewhere safe. Let's code and access the API. Now, open up your favorite IDE and make a new Python file. Before we start coding, you'll need to install the OpenAI API client to use the API. You can install it using pip in Python. Simply open the terminal and type pip install OpenAI. First, let's import the library using import OpenAI. You can hardcode and store the API inside a variable or use os.env. I have stored my API key inside an external file called config. You'll need to authenticate with your API key. You can do this by passing your API key to the OpenAI API client. So, I am going to import the config file and store the API key inside openai.api_key. Now, we have completed the authentication with the API key. To generate text with the API, you'll need to send a prompt. Just use the OpenAI chat completion method.create and inside the model that you want to use, in our case, it's GPT 3.5 Turbo. Then mention the list of dictionaries inside the messages parameter. Messages must be an array of message objects, where each object has a role. For example, you can assign the role for the system in the content to be a wrapper and ask to respond as if the system is Eminem, or ask the system to be a genius front-end developer. In a similar way, you have to pass the command as input which falls under the role of user. I am going to store the input in a variable called question, and pass the variable inside the messages parameter for the user role. Let's ask ChatGPT to write the code to center the div, store the output inside a variable called response, and print out the response and run the script. You'll get the ChatGPT response and the code to center the div. That's how easy it is to use ChatGPT API. Now, go crazy and start building some cool applications, projects using the API, and comment down the project you are working on using this API. Please comment on what you want to see next, and for more such videos, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, have a good day, peace.